Hello, 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 and welcome back to Pieces That Pat Paints. It is it's been a wild day. We're back from vacation. Where is that light switch? There it is. Oh, man, there's my eye. My eye is doing better than it was before vacation. I didn't even make it to getting dressed today. I'm in my robe. So it's been like that. This has been kind of fun. I've been scrambling all day trying to wake up and get things going and feed my kids and take care of my crops, and it's been crazy. And yes, I garden in my robe. For those of you who are keeping score at home. Anyway, so it's still a little red and puffy. But yeah, I'm still nibbling on my breakfast. So good. But we're back. We're going to get started on painting our guy, and we're gonna get rolling. Let me find us some good music.
Hey, can I do it?
After this bad Rise of Kingdoms ad. There we go. Alright. So, now, let's get me out of here. Oh. I don't need to be that big. We need to be that big. There we go. And we'll pull up the paint camera. Wonderful. Okay. This guy got the good and dry. I had him over here. The kids were looking at him. And completely cleaned out my car, top to bottom. Still never found that piece. So I'm guessing that it somehow got misplaced somewhere. I did 100% find this file though. So we should be able to print this, print the replacement for the other side when we get there. We still got a ways to go, so because we've got to just let it get glued in there. There we go. So we're gonna get working on this stuff. We'll work on his torso first, and then we're gonna move over to those legs. We need this one. So we went with the underneath is the burnt umber, and this is going to be a raw sienna. And this guy is going to be the tops of all of our stuff. You could do this with a dry brush if you wanted to. Wouldn't be too hard. But we don't necessarily need that. Oh, I left that brush in the water over the weekend. That was a bad thing to do. That's okay, it was already shredding. If you leave your brushes in water for too long, the paint will come off of the handle. I had so much stuff going on Friday, I completely spaced it. And I think I'm going to come back and I'm going to turn this into more like a cloth colored, so we can keep this a different color. And here I'm just coming through and adding color to each one of these in turn, because we really only needed this lighter brown on the edges of the little plates. We don't really need it to go all the way up in there. And this may take us a couple rounds. The main thing we want to do right here is make sure you're staying on row. Like you see I'm trying to go row by row here. And I'm going to do that to that section where I can see, and then I'll come back into the back. And I may make some mistakes along the way, but that's all right. The great thing is this is going to be definitely a layer on layer on layer effect. So it's going to take a couple rounds to get it to come all the way through what we want it to do.
Are you finished with the flat top, or is it heating up?
Oh, I'm finished with it. This has been a crazy morning. And the thing to remember with this, if you're kind of wondering where you're supposed to go with the colors, always think about your light source. We talk about that a lot. Think about our light source. You could even just go and, like I said, you could dry brush this on and just kind of come across them like that if you wanted to, and it'll be just fine. But what I like to do is try to get onto those tops as best as possible, and then maybe come and smooth it out later, because again our sun is going to hit those edges, not necessarily the crevices. Thank you so much. I haven't even been able to have any coffee today. I've been too busy answering questions and trying to teach people how to make breakfast sandwiches.
That sounds exciting.
It was good. They need to learn those things. Ooh. Anyway, we're in here getting this done because it's showtime.
It is.
Here at the edge of the stage. Now we may even come like one tone lighter before this is all said and done. And if you make a mistake and you get it you'll make too light or whatever, and you're like, oh god, it looks terrible, you can always come back and throw a couple washes in there and fix those. Washes are definitely kind of like a easy way to cheat things. If you've made a mistake, a lot of times you can fix it with a quick wash, or heck, if you really get bad off, you can just strip it and start again. That's the thing I always try to remember. Like, if I really mess up, that's alright. I could always just strip it and start again. I mean, not with this one, obviously. This one we're going to need to make sure it's right. But I mean, I guess I could strip this, but golly, that'd be a lot of time I'd have to waste to do that. But you can kind of see how, as we kind of keep working up the tops of the leather, it's starting to show that little bit of like worn, to where it's darker in the it's darker in the recesses and a little bit more polished in the highlights. And that's what we're looking to do. You can see is wipe that audio again. I think I'm getting better at plugging people, which is great. I really want to make sure we're shouting out to people when we use their stuff. Now, that's as I'm getting more experienced in this thing, I think I'm getting better at some of those little courtesy pieces that I need to make sure that I am doing. I'm pretty good about courtesy to the people who sculpted things and stuff like that, but it is, I gotta remember that, everything. The music, and, I credit my art companies paints and stuff, but I need to make sure that we're saying, hey, go check these guys out. And I think we've done that several times in the past, but I want to make sure that we're every time, and we say something every time. And some people might call it, so some people might call this blending. I wouldn't. This is more like layering, because I'm not changing colors. The colors are dried on there. This is a little bit more like layering, a little less like blending, where we would be putting two different colors and then trying to get them to fade together. This seems so tedious, but it is so necessary. It really will make this leather look, it'll look more real, more realistic. But it does take time. You've gotta be patient with it. Especially when you got so much of it. We may not have to go all the way through the back. We may be able to just, kind of knock out the back on quickness. But oof, gotta remember to keep your brush wet and keep your hand from cramping a little bit. I had a lot of holding on to rides this weekend. We went down to Hurricane Harbor and Frontier City. It was a lot of fun. The boys really liked Hurricane Harbor. My daughter not so much. And then, but I think maybe she got over her fear by the time she got through the amusement park. So like Six Flags was a whole lot of fun. And she really seemed to like that. So, I think maybe she feels like maybe she wants to try water parks again. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But she really did seem to enjoy the roller coaster. She went on several of them. And the boys, they had a great time everywhere. My two youngest boys. My oldest boy is at camp being a counselor kind of thing, which is really cool. I haven't seen him in over a week. We're heading into we're heading into the longest I have been without my son. It's kind of weird. I think by the time it rolls around to this next Sunday, it will be the longest I've ever spent without him. Which is, weird and kind of cool. It's part of the way it all goes. The circle of life, if you will. And don't be afraid to get some on there and then come back. With this particular color, it seems like it likes to do that a little bit. So, kind of got to work with the color. Work with the product. Okay, get a little bit of gold out for his bottom of his cloak here. I don't think we really need to keep doing our leather pattern all the way into the back. Look, with it being underneath the cloak, you're not going to notice. Let's try this dry brush just a little bit here. Maybe faster just to drop this in and then come back with our wash. Just to have it done quickly. Yeah, that other way would have taken us a long time. Some of that will have to be done with a smaller brush. Hey, Sir McBeardsley's back. Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. It was a great vacation. We had a lot of fun. I am exhausted. I almost did not make it today. It was a struggle. I was very sleepy. Got up late, and I did manage to get all the kids fed. Which, you know, that's the important part, right? You gotta get the kiddos fed. And then I came straight in here and got done with this. Well, I did get some of my Fallout stuff caught up, which, you know, that's important, I guess. It is important to me, a little bit. Okay. Now, get some of our filthy wash. Now I'll help get us that darkness too we want from it. So we want it kind of dark around the bottom. It'll look great. Okay. 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 Now, since we got this dry brush out already, let's go ahead and bring out the edges of all of this. Highlights. Boom, 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 boom. And that's just kind of bring us back up. Sir Beardley says, that's the truth, man. People have been crying big time about how challenging the Elden Ring DLC is. It's fun to see how many people get humbled because they cheesed the game. Yeah, those games have a steep curve, man. And it definitely is one of those things where it's like, if you weren't ready, it's gonna get you. you can tell. People always cry about something though, man. I don't know. Lately it's like all they do is cry. Alright, so we're gonna come back with another round of white. Now don't worry, again, your white is always gonna fade. And we might want to add another round of washes to this too when it all gets said and done. Oof, we don't want it to get onto that belt though. Oh well. We come in to fix those details later. Now we've got a nice white fur, and as that dries, it's going to fade, and it's going to bring those colors back up for us, and so it'll have a whole lot more texture. And if it doesn't, then like I said, we'll just come back through and we'll put a little bit more wash, or we'll add a little bit of whatever we need, and we'll get that done. A little easier up in here. We just kind of have to flick it out. And you'll kind of notice I kind of keep with the way the fur is going. You kind of want to move it out that way, whichever direction the fur wants to go. And this stuff, it might take a couple of rounds of kind of adding and layering to get it to be the exact look we want, but we'll get there. This hair has so many different colors in it. Even if it's white, it's not really all white, and with very few exceptions. I do say I don't feel bad for anyone who complains about the challenge. I literally watched a guy do 760 attempts on the same boss to beat them at level 1. If they can pull all that off, then anyone can take the game under normal circumstances. They just have to use the tools to gives them, rather than go, yeah, you kind of, yeah. I always dislike that when people cry about things that it really is up to you. If you would just do the thing you need to do, you'd be all right. Like, if people get frustrated with some games because, like, oh well, I couldn't figure it out. It's like, well, did you Google anything? Did you look up anything? Did you read the instructions to the game? Sometimes people don't even read the instructions to the games. And you're just like, but why? And you can see how it's fading. It's coming back to that gray, and it's giving us that tone. Just like I was telling you, this time we're going to come back through. We're going to start getting just the tops and the highlights of things. Really focusing on the direction of the fur in which it's going. And this is where we are going to be really glad that we went ahead and sealed up that crevice, because now it's really starting to look like the fur is just coming right out from underneath his chest piece. Corvus, I believe, is that one's called. Is that a Corvus? Cuirass, not Corvus. Corvus is the thing that they put on the front of a Roman trireme with the big crane on it with a spike that the bridge. This is a cuirass. The colors are looking great. So yeah, it's looking really, really good. I'm really happy with it. We got a lot of work to do on this part of this cloak, and then I'm gonna do this sash probably in a Payne's gray. I really have been thinking about it going Payne's gray. Not Payne, but Naples Yellow. This is Payne's gray. Still got a little bit of that vacation head going on, y'all. My main goal is to get this stuff done so we can start putting things back on, because there's going to be a lot of cracks we're going to have to sculpt and get painted and get set up as we go. This one's going to be, he's going to be really cool when he's done, but this one's going to be kind of like Malekith, as we kind of had to put it together and paint it as we went. A little bit more than we did with Melania. She was a little bit easier to put together. She was a little bit more fun to paint, in my opinion. There's a lot more going on with her than there was with Malekith, but Malekith just took longer to paint because edge highlighting all that armor was a challenge. A mental challenge. Like, it took me staying focused and really getting after it. It's like doing the big knights, if you've ever painted on Warhammer, when you're doing the big knights and you're trying to, or like a land raider or something like a rhino, trying to edge highlight those things. Lots of edge highlighting. Or like edge highlighting a dragon's scales. Oof. Done that before. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and throw some of that Naples Yellow in here. And take a break from my hand anyway. Let it rest for a second. Little boo-boo. Take care of that. Get to that one quickly. That leather's almost done. I definitely don't want to have to go back and mess with that again. We're going to try to get this to look like that old cloth. It'll really help us give us that differentiation there between some of the stuff we've got going on. Just making a little bit of a darker version using our raw umber. Just kind of smooth it out a little bit. We're gonna let that set up, we'll let that dry, and we'll come back and we'll put a little bit more. Might end up with a little bit of white on there or whatever have you. It's gonna kind of depend on how I'm feeling, really. Alright, I'm going back to work on this fur. So much fur. He's gonna have a lot of hair on this thing. The lion itself has got this giant mane. Looking really cool. Yeah, looking good, looking good. Little bits of time. Always with the direction the hair is going. Okay, and then we can remember that a lot of this stuff's behind that cloak, so we can kind of keep an eye on that and see how much this we really have to worry about. And that tells you right there, we're in pretty good shape now. So we're going to go ahead and start focusing on some of this other stuff. We're not going to worry too much about what's going on back here because it's in shadow anyway. Alright, now here comes some tricky diggy. These little X's are gold. Little crosses. Bit random, but if you watched The Expanse, I feel like I watched part of it. I don't know how much of I saw. I feel like I keep getting it confused with a couple of other sci-fi shows I've seen. It seemed like it was pretty good. Now with this, sometimes it's easier to not stress it so much and come back and fix it with a little bit of touch-ups with your red, but you really want to keep it pretty dang close. Don't just go hog wild there. You'll make way more work for yourself than you want. I've watched a few seasons. I still need to finish it. I really liked it from what I watched. It's a cool world. Yeah. There's been some really awesome world building going on in TV lately. Well, I guess it's not lately. That was a long time ago. The Expanse was out it's a little older now. It's been out for a while. You might have to come back on this a few times to get the paint to cover it up, especially something like gold, because it's going to be real shiny through there. But a little bit of patience and you'll get it. Only had a few little, just a few little blips, which is good considering how sleepy I am and how much my eyes are just bugging, straight bugging. Okay, now pour eyeball. All right, so let's get all of our rings finished, and then we're gonna head on to the next thing. And this is just to come through and accentuate a few of these guys after our wash, because we don't want them to all completely disappear and get grungy. We do want some of that stuff in the back to stay a little bit hidden. Maybe not all of it. Especially anywhere where we know the light's gonna hit it. We definitely want to bring that back out. And that's pretty easy, just to give it a little touch up. Doom, 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 done. Okay. Silly hand. Yeah, The Expanse. Yeah, I feel like I saw part of that. That was alright. You ever watch Red Dwarf? That one's a really funny one. That's crazy. It's an old British show, I think. And then, what was another old sci-fi show I really liked? Farscape. Farscape was really cool. If you ever watched Farscape. That one was a wild show. Oh, I haven't gotten to watch much. I don't watch much TV in general, and I haven't gotten to watch much lately. I still haven't even watched the Fallout show, and I love Fallout. We're working on Shogun right now, which is actually Shogun was one of my favorite books when I was a younger man. And so I love watching Shogun. I've been craving sci-fi, but I haven't gone searching for something new. I don't watch much either. Yeah. So Red Dwarf is really weird. It's a British. It's like a British comedy sci-fi show. It's weird. Farscape is a little bit more modern, and it's really good. Farscape is actually a pretty decent show. As long as you don't mind, just a little bit of cheesy sci-fi. Sci-fi in general gets a little cheesy, so you kind of have to be willing to take that when you sign on the line. Sci-fi just be like that. Okay, so we are gonna go ahead and take a little bit of white. We'll mix it with that Naples Yellow. Just gently grabbing these highlights here. Again, being cognizant of where my light is gonna touch this stuff. And then, without cleaning my brush, I'm going to come back with this straight white. And really just that edge there. That edge there. Definitely a little bit right here. Just a little bit across that. Now this is a little bit of a wet blend. They calling me. There we go. I thought you were on. I was on vacation, Dave. I was on vacation. You know me and vacation. It's like 2 days. We left on Sunday, and we were gone Sunday and Monday and Tuesday. So we went to a water park down in Texas, and then we went to Six Flags, which the kids all loved. And then we went to this place called Meow Wolf yesterday, which is really cool. It's like an art installation kind of thing. But I'm not even supposed to be here today. 37 in a row? Really trying to smooth out this color, and I don't want it to get too white. I'm really trying to make it look like dirty cloth. And we're getting there slowly. That was another little tiny round of that umber I put on there just to bring it down. And now we're starting to get somewhere. There we go. Yeah. That looks great. Now it looks like a little bit of a sash. And you get just a little bit more edge on that right there. There we go. Now we got the shadow right. That's better. That's better. All right. That done. That done. That done. That done. That done. Oh, goodness. That part is all completed. Okay. I gotta figure out what color to make those. This is all leather. I guess we can put another round on this big leg. Or another round of flesh, I say, on the leg. Blah, 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 blah. Definitely still got the vacation brain going on. I keep trying to figure out, oh God, where are my kids and what are they making a mess of? No, they did pretty good. We're actually to the point now where you can leave them in a hotel room by themselves and they're not going to tear it up or go crazy in there. Kind of nice. I'm starting to understand that if you tear stuff up, you're gonna have some consequences. That's a good place to be. Not that they were super destructive anyway, but... See, we can't fill in some of those little striations a little bit. And those are, if you're picking those up and seeing those in the camera, those are from the print. When we went to print, something went a little wrong. It could have been a number of different things, so it's hard to tell. And it's some of the thing that doesn't necessarily, it's not going to cause failure of the print. And you might not even notice it if you're not sitting real close. Especially with the way I'm going to paint this leg, we won't be able to tell. Because I'm gonna use a lot of just basically highlighting and over and over again. I won't be using any washes most likely. Really don't need it when it's this big of a piece of flesh. It's really easy to paint it without too much washing. We might need washes down in here where it's going to get a little grimy from where the ropes are hanging out, but that's more to get the ropes to be the right color and not worry about the leg. We'll be able to layer our colors on here and get the effect we want. That's 53 minutes. Let's do that other leg real quick. That neck coat on it, and then we're going to call it for the day. She'll grab the wrong dang brush. Just put it down when it grabs the wrong one. But the torso is done. We'll have these legs done tomorrow. Well, maybe. We'll be in a pretty good place. We're definitely in a spot now where we can move to, we can start working on these legs while we're working on getting the rest of his stuff put together for the next phase, because this just pops on and off pretty easily, the torso and the legs. So we don't necessarily have to worry too much about it. But there is a little gap between his cloak and his cuirass, and we need to make sure we get that adjusted and filled properly. Alright. We got nice clean brush strokes. Everything looks good. Certain pieces. I'm boring. I'm a big staycation guy. My idea of vacation is not making any plans, chilling at home, and if I want to do something on a whim, I'll go do it. Yeah, I'm actually more like a outdoors guy. Like I would prefer to go and like be at a camp site and all that stuff. But I also love a good thrill ride from time to time. And Kristen, she loves roller coasters and thrill rides and amusement parks. So I figured we'd do that. Plus, while we got kids, we got all the kids. And the kids love that sort of stuff. So we're trying to do those things while the kids still can enjoy it, and we can still enjoy them enjoying it. And go with them and stuff like that. So it's exciting. Like, my youngest is just getting to where he can ride all the rides now. So like, it's the fun part. Because pretty soon we'll be able to do all those sort of things. We can staycation, or we can do whatever we want. We can pull myself back over. We can be able to do whatever we want. But it was a lot of fun. I definitely recommend Meow Wolf. If you're in Grapevine, Texas, go to Meow Wolf. Super cool, really interesting, really interesting art exhibit. With a little story to it and everything. So, and it was really neat. We'll be posting pictures of that stuff later, I'm sure, to my my Facebook and all that. Anyway, if you aren't on my Facebook or my Instagram, totally follow those sort of things. I'm there. I post a lot of strange and unusual memes on my Instagram, so please beware. But you can definitely give us a like and subscribe here. We definitely appreciate that. It helps the channel kind of grow, and eventually we're going to get YouTube to pay for all our art supplies, which would be amazing. And we're going to get back on this tomorrow. Really excited with the progress. We got that first major hurdle climbed. So I'm going to let you guys go. You have a great day, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Bye.